Hello guys, welcome back to Patrones Mujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial how to make this beautiful dress, and you can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 70. Having said that, let's get started. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. Once we have the pattern dress in front of the magazine, we cut along the sand line that we'll make. These are finished patterns, which means they have 1 cm seams, hems, and cut with notches and grand lines. Okay, let's check the pieces. These are the pieces from the front and back and the sleeves. These are the pieces from the skirt. These are the pieces from the waistband, and we fused them. These are the pieces from the button tape, and we press in half and the centimeter inside, and we fuse them. These are the pieces from the ruffle of the sleeve. These are the pieces from the collar, and we fuse the pieces. These are the pieces from the left loops, and we fuse them. And these are the pieces from the sleeve, the zipper, and the elastic. Okay, we're going to start placing the button tape of the front. So we face the right of the piece with the back of the front piece, and we're going to sew along of the pieces. Face the right of the button tape with the back of the front piece and sew them along of the pieces until the notch. Then cut in diagonal the corner and cut the excess of the fabric along of the piece. Then we turn the piece and we introduce the centimeter inside of the piece, and we pass a stitch along of the piece. Place the lower piece face the right of the piece with the back of the front piece and sew them along of the pieces. And also you have to cut in diagonal the corner. Then cut the excess of the fabric. Turn the piece and place the centimeter inside of the piece and pass a stitch along of the piece. Then we match the button tape and the triangle, and we pass a stitch on it. Face the rights of the front and back, and we're going to close on the shoulders. We continue with the collar. We're going to use the pattern because we need to know where is going the stitch, so we pass a mark around of the collar. Face the rights of the pieces, and we're going to close on the sides and on top of the collar. These are the pieces from the front and back, and we sew them on the shoulders. Then we have to overlock the seams. The collar, we face the rights and we sew them on the mark. Cut the excess of the fabric, cut the corners, and then turn the piece, and with the help of the scissor pull the corners, and then we have to press with the arm. Now we pass a stitch around of the collar. We continue with the other piece of the collar, so we're going to place on top the pattern, and we're going to make also a mark because we need to know where is going the stitch. We take the other piece of the collar and we place on top. You have to place on the notches, and then place on top the other piece. Now we press the centimeter inside and we place on top the collar, and we pass a stitch for hold the collar. Place on top the other piece of the collar and pass a stitch around. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the collar, and you have to snip the curves. Turn the piece and then press with air. We're going to place the collar around of the neckline, so you have to match the center back and the notches. Face the rags and sew them all around of the neckline. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the neckline. Snip the curves. We place the centimeter inside of the collar and we pass a stitch around. We continue with the skirt. These are the pieces from the skirt. So we're going to face the rags and we're going to close on the sides. These are the other pieces of the skirt. Also, we face the rights and we're going to close on the sides. After that, we're going to face the rights and we're going to close for one side. This is the waistband. We face the rights and we're going to close for one side. Face the rights and sew them on the sides, and then we have to overlock the seams. And also you have to overlock the sides. Then press with the iron. Face the rights and sew them for one side, because in the other side we have the zipper. We pass a stitch on the skirt. In this case, we are using the mustard color. Now, we continue with the front and back. We overlock the sides and we're going to close for one side. Then we're going to place the waistband. Then we have to place the other piece of the waistband, and you have to face the right of the waistband with the back of the pieces, and remember to match the sides. Sew them on the sides, face the rights, and sew them on the sides. Now place the waistband, face the rights of the pieces, and sew them all along of the waist. In the middle, you have the front and back piece. Cut the excess of the fabric along of the waist. Now we're going to make the belt loop. So we fold in half and we're going to close on the sides. Fold in half and sew them on the sides. Then cut the excess of the fabric and then turn the piece, and then we have to press with the iron. Pass a stitch for one side and the other one. Now we're going to place the belt loops on the skirt. So you have to place on the cuts, and then the skirt, we're going to place the skirt with the waistband. Pass a stitch for all the loops. And sew them the skirt with the waistband along of the waist. Cut the excess of the fabric along of the waist. and place the centimeter inside of the waistband and pass a stitch along of the waist. And we have changed the color for mustard color. Place the centimeter inside of the belt loops and pass a stitch all around of the waistband. Now we're going to place the zipper on the sides and we're going to close a little bit the side. Then we're going to make the hem. Face the rights and sew them on the side. Then we have to place for one side the zipper and the other one, and you have to use one single side foot for pass the stitch close to the teeth. Cut the excess of the zipper and then fold the hem and pass a stitch there. Cut the excess of the zipper and fold the centimeter and pass a stitch on it. But first you have to overlock the hem. Now pass a stitch on the zipper all around. Turn the piece and fold and pass a stitch all around of the hem. To continue with the sleeves, we're going to fold in half, face the rights, and we're going to close on the sides. Then we're going to make the pieces of the ruffle. We overlock the edge. In this case, we're going to use black. Face the rights of the sleeve, fold in half and sew them on the side, and then we'll have to overlock the seams. These are the pieces from the sleeve, the ruffle piece. We face the rights, we fold in half and we'll close for one side. Then we pass a stitch all around, and parallel to the first one we pass another one and we pull the thread from the spool, forget the get, and we have to overlock the edge with a different color. In this case we are using black. Place the ruffle piece and match the sides, and we're going to sew them all around of the cuff. Face the rights and sew them all around. Then we have to overlock the seam. We're going to place the sleeve so we match the shoulder and the notches and the side. Face the rights of the sleeve and sew them from the side and go all around of the sleeve. Then overlock the seams. This is the belt of the dress. We fold in half and we're going to close for one side and along of the pieces. This is the other piece and also we fold in half and we're going to close for one side and along of the piece. Fold in half and sew them along of the piece and for one side. Cut the corners and cut along of the piece. Then we have to turn the piece and press with the iron. Now we overlock for one side and we pass a stitch all around on the piece. Now we're going to place the belt on the waistband, so we fold the centimeter inside and we're going to pass a stitch. We pass a stitch on the belt and also on the other side. And we have finished our dress. We press with the iron on the hem. And this is the other color, in blue color. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. And remember, you will find the magazine in Amazon as Patrón de Mujer. Thank you guys for watching the video.